So, of course, this is your new book,
Slender Man
Slender Man Mysteries: An Internet Urban Legend Comes to Life by Nick Redfern. And what were some of the most difficult issues? Were there any moments that really stand out that was difficult in terms of writing this book, or really standout moments?
I would say the most difficult chapters to write were the chapters on the girls.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to sensationalize it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you want to take that journalistic, sort of detached approach
Mm-hmm.
and just tell the story.
Mm-hmm.
I felt it would have been irresponsible for me to sort of speculate in sort of sensational, graphic fashion. I felt it was important to tell the story as it happened, from the perspective of what the police thought, what the court thought, the impact on the families, but to do so in a respectful fashion.
Yeah.
Because I think it's one of those subjects, when it's a real world event, you do have to be careful. You know, you're not talking about hearsay about what happened at Roswell, say,
Right.
in 1947. We're talking about something relatively just a few years ago, which resulted in a court case. So I think from my perspective, that was the most, I wouldn't say difficult to write, but careful to write.
Yeah. It's
And I
it's
think-
an interesting journalistic
yeah,
line.
and I think the other angle, of course, was I wanted to cover, you know, the people who believe there is a genuine supernatural angle, but also to take the approach that, well, this is what these people think versus what these people think,
Yeah.
and me try and just present the data as they see it, because, you know, I don't feel that it's right to push a belief system on my part on people. You know, you become almost like indoctrinating people, and that can be dangerous, whether it's deliberate or not.
Absolutely.
But I guess those were the main areas. But the one thing that kind of stood out, which I talk in the book as well, this angle of when you have these young kids who launch these attacks, they are aware in some of the cases that the Slender Man is sort of evil and dangerous to them even, unless they do the right thing in his name. And it's almost like an equivalent to something like Stockholm syndrome. You know, when somebody gets kidnapped, and then they develop an affinity and an attachment to the kidnappers.
Yeah.
It's in a very strange way. It's similar to that, where you have kids who are terrified of the Slender Man, but they're oddly obsessed with it and drawn to it, and it's sort of everything. And it's just so strange that everything about the Slender Man ends up in negativity in some way or another.
That's wild, isn't it?
Yeah, and we don't really see that with any other kind of fictional entity.
No, we don't.
People don't associate it as something real.
Right.
But with the Slender Man, they do. Yeah.
So, of course, if you're here at the UFO conference, you can just buy your book. If you're not at the UFO conference, where's your book?
Well, people can get all my books off Amazon, and probably 40-50% of them you can get off the shelves in Barnes & Noble for people who still enjoy going to bookstores, which hopefully is going to go on for a long time.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. Well, Nick, it's awesome to get to visit
All
with
right,
you.
thanks,
and,
sir.
Thanks for being here in Eureka Springs.
All right, cool. I'm looking forward to it. It's my first time
It's
at this
fun.
conference. It's actually my first time in Arkansas.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah,
well, we're glad you're here.
All right, cool. Thanks.